So, quick question. How many of you have been using the avatar with the avatar enabled scripts? I think we're up to, I think half or a little over half or just around half of the scripts inside of funnel scripts are now avatar enabled to either 100% fill everything out or fill out the vast majority of stuff. And I'm just curious as to know how many of you are actually doing it. Craig says, I created my avatar. I dig it a lot. That's high praise coming from Craig. Karen says, I used it once. Walter says, I got my avatar filled out and used on some scripts. Melford says, old dog learning new tricks. Charles says, just purchased unlimited, so still setting up. Okay, awesome. Well, I can tell you that defining your avatar and using it to fill out the scripts are amazing. And I'm telling you from my own personal usage thereof. I have a project that I'm working on right now. We're actually redoing, well, we have redone for the third time in 21 years. I have completely redone and updated my 7-day ebook, How to Write and Publish Your Own Outrageously Profitable Ebook in as little as 7 days, even if you can't write, can't type, and failed high school English class. And we're working on the funnel for that right now. Actually wrote the entire sales letter. Am now in the process of putting together the first one-time offer and the second one-time offer. All the copy of that is going to be based and used from funnel scripts. And I have completed my avatar for that. So I'm super, super excited because we're going to re-release that. It's going to be pretty cool. That was the one, if you've ever heard me tell the story of for 10 years selling, I had an ebook that was selling at least 10,000 copies a year. And I didn't have any type of OTO with it. Sat down and realized I had, after I added an OTO and saw it at a 20% conversion rate, I actually realized that I had left $1 million on the table. What's up, Carlin? And so that's the ebook. That's one of the ebooks that I sold for 20 some years. So we actually updated it once already. We're updating it for the second time. So this is the third edition that we're going to be coming out with. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited. We're going to be launching that, and I'm using my own stuff. That's what I want you to understand. I'm literally eating my own cooking with this. And later, when you all go through that funnel, I'm sure you'll see the amazing copy and see it came from Funnel Scripts, and you'll go, oh my God, Funnel Scripts is amazing. I have to buy them. So, Carlin, make sure that you have your microphone hooked up because you're going to volunteer later, just letting you know, unless you don't have your microphone hooked up. Okay, so Peter says, Jim, so good to see you out of the hallway. Yeah, I'm back in my regular office. I'm not in my wife's basement, but the view in here isn't nearly as nice as the view at the other house. I like the beach house better. So, Joshua said, please, any reasons you don't use Zoom? Rather, since we're all more used to Zoom and its functionalities, please, Jim. I use GoToWebinar GoToWebinar because we signed everybody up for GoToWebinar going on 6 years ago now with Funnel Scripts. Zoom didn't even exist, and it's too late to switch courses midstream. And I'm already paying the $1,000 a year for GoToWebinar. So that's why we use GoToWebinar, because I done paid for it and everybody signed up and I just don't feel like switching. So we got thousands of people signed up for it. I just don't want to deal with unsigning and signing people up. And like Dan says, it works. So Tanya said, yep, Carlin, that's called being voluntold. There you go. All right, so I'm excited. Hey, how many of you are signed up for Funnel Hacking Live? Just real quick, how many of you are signed up for Funnel Hacking Live and are going to be there live and in person? I am going to be there live and in person Craig says, I'm going for the first time. Justin's going to be there. Gordon's going to be there. I'm sorry to hear that, Peter. Sherry says, I am live and in person first time. Andrea, first timer. Joshua says, I am elated to see you there live. Oh, thank you, Joshua. Sad to miss it. Karen says, I'm already in 2CCX. VJ says, saving live for the gym boat. Awesome. Justin says, going to see how the guidelines are going to be. So, yeah, I understand all that, but we made the decision yesterday. We're going live. My wife's going to be there. My niece, Susan's going to be there. My daughter, Nancy's going to be there. I'm hoping my buddy Dexter will be going with us too. So, yeah, if you're going to be there live, I'll look forward to seeing you there live. It's going to be awesome. And I think the world will be a much better, different place in September. Everybody's getting their shots and all kinds of stuff's going on. So we's going to do it. So Justin said, I'll be there 100%. Rivka says, I'm going so I can see you in person. I hope you don't come up to me, Rivka, and say, I thought you'd be taller. So anyway, all right, cool. Let's do this. Let's run over this stuff. And Carlin, make sure you got your microphone warmed up and stuff. All right, so let's do this. So for those of you who have been paying attention, or if you're watching the replay of this training, you will see, depending on where this is positioned, either above or over to the right, you will see a couple of other trainings that we have done, Secrets of the Avatar, and then avatar enabled scripts. Now, one of the things that has happened, or that I have noticed, and for those of you who know or been paying attention, I've really been talking a lot about your avatar. And one of the reasons for that is because in Copywriting Secrets, we teach you all about writing copy that converts. Now, the thing is, I realized that everybody needs to really focus in on their avatar, and we'll talk about why in just a second. But what's happening though is that I've had a lot of people saying to me, this is great, this makes a lot of sense, but how do I figure out how to define my avatar? How do I use the avatar profile script? And so what I want to share with you today is my Google strategy for gathering up your avatar's hot buttons and more. And of course, presented by yours truly, Jim Edwards. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. No matter how or no matter what we do as far as critiques, it always comes back to who is your ideal customer. When we do critiques on Monday Madness, and if you've never been on one of the Monday Madness shows, you should. We do it live in the Facebook group, in the ClickFunnels Facebook group every Monday. Dean Edelson and Jesse Vaya and I get on and we write the copy for Funnel Fridays. We also, when people submit share funnels they've used from Funnel Fridays, we go through and we'll critique the copy. We'll critique the their the back end and the mechanics and all that good stuff. But what I've noticed, I think we've been doing it for a year or close to a year. What I've noticed is that it always comes back to a question of who is your ideal customer? And what we want to know is, who are you selling to? Who are you trying to get to buy, to try, to sign up? And so the avatar, your ideal customer, and when we say avatar, we're not talking about some 8-foot tall blue character from a really great CG movie, but actually your avatar, your ideal customer, understanding them is the key to writing good sales copy, because the only way you're going to know if it's good or not is if it's actually targeted towards somebody who you're trying to get to buy, try, or sign up. And then people ask, okay, well, I'm trying to define my avatar, and or hopefully from using the avatar script. The avatar script is basically made up of your avatar's identity, who they perceive themselves to be now, who they want to be in the future, their focus. Their hot buttons are all things like their long-term desires, immediate results, their enemy, problems, pain points, critical questions, roadblocks. I'm going to talk more about that in just a minute. We're actually going to define somebody's avatar. And that's why I volunteered my buddy Carlin. But people ask, how do I know what those hot buttons are? And so typically my answer is, okay, it's you. Most of us at some point have been in your own group. Typically, you're not selling to a group that you're either not already a part of or haven't been in the past. All the stuff I've done, real estate, mortgages, writing ebooks, writing sales copy, creating content, creating multimedia products, creating mini sites, all that stuff. I was or am a member of that group. So sometimes you can just look within and say, okay, what was my biggest hangup? What was my biggest problem? What were my biggest pain points? You can also look at other people because I've known other people that have done stuff with groups where they weren't in the group, but someone they were really close to, a friend, a family member, a spouse, a child, somebody was in that group and they knew them intimately. So you can just ask the person or the people. You can go on groups on social media. We used to call them forums. Now they're Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, whatever they are. You can go in groups and ask people, but sometimes you may not have access to those things. And if you don't have access to those things, what's the solution? Especially if you can't do surveys or something like that. And the solution is to use the all-knowing Google, because you will be shocked at what Google will reveal to you if you know the right questions to ask. And I'm going to help you know what those right questions are to ask to get you pointed in the right direction. So we're going to do that. But I want to talk to you for just a minute about identity, because there's not a huge amount of confusion about this, but there's a good, better, best situation when it comes to the identity of your ideal customer, of your avatar. And so I want to talk to you for just a minute about identity versus characteristics. So I was having a conversation with my buddy Dexter, and we were actually defining the avatar for a project that we're working on with a very large organization, that we're putting together the avatar for their ideal customer in one particular area of their business. And I started to fill out the identity, or we started to figure out, what is the identity? It's right here in the Avatar Wizard. There's two parts of identity. What is your avatar's current identity, and what is your avatar's ideal identity? And Dexter asked me, he's like, well, what do you mean by identity? It's like, it's somebody who wants to be able to do this. And I explained to him that identity is like a hat. Your identity is who you perceive yourself to be, or who the ideal customer perceives themselves to be, or who they want to be. So if you think of a hat, if somebody's wearing a fireman hat, who are they? What are they? I'm not being a smart aleck. In the Q&A, if somebody's wearing a fireman hat, what are they? They're a fireman, right? If they're wearing a policeman's hat, they are a policeman. If they're wearing a soldier's helmet, they are a soldier. If you think about it like a hat, and not everybody has a hat. I don't have a copywriter hat, but that is an identity. It's not, so I'm a copywriter. I can be different levels of copywriter. Okay, I can be a beginner copywriter. I'm jumping ahead a little bit right now. But an identity is not someone who wants to write copy. It's not someone who wants to put out a fire. It's not someone who wants to do something. That's a desire. So an example, we'll just use a quick example. An identity would be a real estate agent. In fact, one of the people that I followed or paid attention to what they were doing in marketing, or a trainer, they used to say one of the ways to introduce yourself to people and when you're looking for business, when you're prospecting, when you're trying to get referrals, is you call them up and say, hey Mary, do you remember what's here? I got my real estate hat on today, and I just wanted to call and ask you, and then you would ask questions about real estate. So that's something that just clicked in me a long time ago. It's like, okay, I'm putting on this hat, I'm putting on this identity, and we can all have multiple identities. So the difference, though, between an identity versus a characteristic, an identity is like who I am in and it can be situationally specific, who I am in this situation. I'm an aspiring author, whatever it is. Okay, I'm a beginner copywriter. Characteristics are features or qualities. So, for example, for real estate agents, the identity is real estate agent. The characteristic is beginner real estate agent or top producing real estate agent. And there's a gradation in there, but it's not, if you're looking for an identity, like if you were creating an avatar for a real estate agent, a real estate agent that you were going after to sell a real estate related product, the identity of your ideal customer is not person who wants to sell more real estate. It's not real estate agent who wants to sell more real estate. It's not real estate agent who wants to sell more real estate. It's real estate agent. Okay. And if you're talking about the ideal identity, okay, the identity that they want to step into, then it would be like top producing real estate agent. Okay, so your current identity could be beginner real estate agent, or there's all kinds of different ones. So it's important to understand the difference because we use characteristics to define or refine the identity, whether it's the existing or ideal. So example, rookie real estate agent, top producing real estate agent, luxury property real estate agent, commercial real estate agent, relocation specialist real estate agent. So the big thing to beware when we're putting together our avatars is that identity is not a desire. Identity is not a problem. Identity is not a pain. So a real estate agent who wants more listings is not an identity. The desire is a hot button. So as we go through the wizard, the avatar profile wizard, I want you to understand that. That's why when we're putting together, and that's one of the reasons why I chose, why I volunteered my buddy Carlin, is because I think if we can get his avatar's identity nailed, we can really make a huge difference in his business really, really fast as far as his ability to create copy. So somebody asked, is there a place where I can watch past webinars? Yes, absolutely. If you go into Funnel Scripts, you go up here under training. I'll open it in a new window. And specifically, watch most recent month's training has avatar enabled scripts right here. If we scroll down to past training replays, and you'll see what I was talking about. Here's the one about avatar enabled scripts. Here's the one, secrets of the avatar. Those are the two that go with this one that we're doing right now. So there you go. All right. So now what I want to do is, since we've talked about that, and I want you to understand that, because don't confuse identity with a desire or identity with another one of the hot buttons. An identity, if you think about it, it's what hat are they wearing as it relates to these hot buttons, as it relates to my offer. And so if you haven't watched the presentation on Secrets of the Avatar, you need to go do that, and do that now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about researching your avatar's hot buttons using Google. We're going to do a live example, and I'm going to unmute my buddy Carlin. So just 1 second. In between the cats, the Karens, and the Carlins. So you got to unmute, Carlin. It says you're self-muted. I unmuted you, but you got to unmute.
How's that?
There you go. Good job. I knew you could do it.
Hey, good morning. This is going
How
to
are
be fun.
you?
I'm doing good.
Are you in the Grand Canyon?
Well, I'm at the beginning of it, yes.
All right, cool. So what I want to do, have you defined your avatar already?
I actually haven't.
Okay, good. Not good, but shame on you, but okay. So what I'd like to do is just define your avatar, if that's okay, and we'll use your experience and we will show everybody how to use Google as well to kind of define and refine the avatar. Is that cool?
That is cool. Love to do it.
Okay. So in 30 seconds or less, tell everybody who you are and what your business is all about.
All right, I'm Carlin Bunting. I operate GrandCanyon.com. I help people plan their Grand Canyon vacations, and I help them get the most out of their experience and hopefully the least amount of time. And most of the time, that involves an air tour.
Okay. So this is where I think I'm going to use some jujitsu on you, and or maybe you're already going to do it. So let's just do this. So what's your avatar's name? Can be anything.
Let's go with a lady's name. Let's go with Julie, because 55% of ladies or who plan vacations, 55 to 60. So
Wow. Okay. So pronouns she, her. Okay.
I,
Now this is what's that?
I was just gonna say wife, but
They, them. Yeah, but
yeah,
that's not. I mean, okay, we could do that. We could say wife as current identity, but that doesn't relate to what you're doing. And if you remember from that other training that we did, there's three parts. Okay, there's your avatar's identity, the hot button, and the offer. The hot buttons and the offer. So typically, when we think about what kind of a hat is somebody wearing who is actually coming to the Grand Canyon?
Grand Canyon visitor is the generic one, or adventurer
Okay.
seeking adventure.
Okay. Now that was the thing I was looking for, and I was hoping you would say something like that. Like adventure traveler or adventurer.
Yeah,
Is that adventure traveler? And somebody else said, Trevor said explorer. um, is that kind of their ideal identity? Because if you remember, it's like they start out here. This is their current identity, and then through your product or service, they can attain the ideal identity. You see what I mean?
right, right.
So and it's fine for us to start and work our way back. So if we want to say ultimately they want to be an adventure traveler, is that kind of what or at least they want to feel like an adventure traveler when they fly in a plane over the Grand Canyon?
It is. It is. They're seeking adventure. Um,
Ooh, adventure
explorer.
seeker.
Yep.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Okay. Explorer is someone who's going to want to generally, seek the overall Grand Canyon experience, but most people are short on time.
Okay.
But it's a great one too, Explorer.
Okay. So let's do this. This is something you can do too. If you can't make up your mind, use a slash. Um, and that way you can you can it'll help you to do that. So if we're helping them on their hero's journey, which is the next time we do this, I'm going to show next training we do, I'm actually going to show y'all how to translate your avatar into the hero's journey, which is pretty cool. Um, unless I think of something else cool I want to teach instead, and then I'll push that off a month. So if we think about that transformation, who are they now, if that makes sense?
Well, typically there's somebody who has visited other national parks or gone on other great vacations, Hawaii, Alaska. Um,
Okay.
but and I guess the current identity is they've been locked up for a year.
Okay.
you
Yeah,
know,
but
and
that's a pain point. That's not a but remember that they've been locked up for a year. That
yeah,
remember that as we move further down. But I
okay.
mean, they could just be a traveler, it could be a vacationer. I mean, it's just what we're looking for is something that's kind of generic. I mean, are they bored? Are they bored? A bored traveler? Are they?
Yeah, many people, it's kind of funny. Many people, well, many families combine Grand Canyon with their visit to Disneyland on the West Coast or to
Okay,
Vegas, or even Sedona and Phoenix too. So they're people who are, it's a bucket list item. Um, and it's something that they know they need to go see, and that, I guess that's why I keep focusing on they've been locked up for a year, and primarily it's going to be domestic travel this year.
yeah,
Is that it's a bucket list item that they need to go see, and this is an ideal year to do it, being let out of the pandemic lockdowns.
okay.
Um,
So why don't we just kind of go with generic vacationer or vacationers, and then their ideal identity is an explorer, adventure seeker.
yep, let's do it.
Let's let's play with that. I mean, again, we don't charge extra for let me hit refresh. I just had it open for a while. All right. Sorry. I was playing. Um,
I do.
okay, so if we now focus, let's get down to their focus. And Horace just asked a question: is it reasonable for me to create several different avatars and I can store them and recover them to use with my different markets? Absolutely. Yes, I would highly recommend that. Because here's the thing. Carlin might be right now, it's just going after, family. Oh, dude, family vacationer.
Yeah,
Family vacationers. There you go. This is for like the family market. But if you were going after the explorer, spelunker, the whitewater rafter, that kind of stuff, you would have a different avatar. That is a different avatar for that. That's why I said you listen to me when you're doing this. You can't separate their identity from the hot buttons from the offer, because if we do that, let's say right now when we get down to the offer, we start talking about whitewater rafting and spelunking down 100-foot cliffs. This is the wrong offer for that avatar. Wouldn't you agree?
absolutely. Yeah, it is two different people. I mean, I'm more in that market now, but I used to be the market that was seeking the adventure and the air tour. And
Right.
so it is, and you don't do those with your family typically. Well, you do whitewatering with your family, but spelunking and canyoneering, that's you've got to find the right friends who like to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do an Australian rappel down a 200-foot cliff, but my wife won't let me. Um, but I would do it, but I'm not allowed. So that's the thing. That's why I'm just stressing that you got to think this through in terms of the you can't separate their current identity from the identity that they want to achieve from the hot buttons that are going to motivate them and the offer that you're making. That's why it's all in this script. So
Right.
if we think about their focus, think about somebody who is doing exactly what you just described, a family probably got them an RV. They probably paid like 50% over list for an RV because everybody's buying RVs right now.
Yep.
I just sold both of mine for more than I should have. Good to
Smart
be
man.
me. So the thing is that their focus. This is typically if somebody was looking to do what you're wanting them to do, what would be the thing that they would type into Google this is the kind of thing they would type into Google. This is the thing they're interested in.
Look,
Whereas the rest of these things are things that are just under the surface of their mind.
right.
And hey, do you have your webcam hooked up, by the way? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I do.
Can you turn it on?
Let's
Just so I
see.
don't feel like I'm talking to myself, unless you don't want to, unless you're like naked or something.
No, what do I have to do to turn it on?
I don't know.
Because it's on.
Let me make you a panelist.
Okay.
You
Oh, there
still
it is.
there?
Share my webcam. There it is. How's oh,
I
how do I get?
can't see you.
I know. Let me
So
turn the.
go open your snap or either change it or go into your snap camera and choose a different source and then choose the original source and it'll show.
Okay. Hold on here. Why is that happening?
I don't know.
Normally comes right up.
Yeah. Can you go in under webcam and under webcams and then choose the under preferences and choose it? I mean, if not, we won't worry about it.
There's webcam. Oh, there I see. Okay. Yeah, let me get the C922 going. Here we go. Sorry.
There you go. Okay.
Hey,
Excuse me,
good morning.
mister. I haven't shaved in a while. Um, okay. So the thing we want to know is if somebody was going to look for, what's their focus when it comes to Grand Canyon vacation?
Well, Grand Canyon Tours is the obvious keyword, and then
Okay.
that we go for, and then the
Okay.
secondary one is Grand Canyon Helicopter Tours. That's
Okay.
when they throw it down. If you're talking from a Google perspective.
Okay. All right. So now, if you think about again from the standpoint of their long-term desires. Now, if you think about somebody again, and they might say, well, when it comes to Grand Canyon vacation, I mean, they don't have long-term desires. Well, wait a minute. When it comes to any type of vacation, there is a long-term desire. The long-term desire is to create memories. If you think about it, I mean, one of these things, I mean, I want to create a memory that lasts a lifetime.
Absolutely.
And
And
and that would be what I would put in here.
and one of the ways that I always define that is, something to talk about over Thanksgiving dinner or, during Christmas. It's time to remember when you're with family or friends.
Okay. Um, so create family, how about create family memories that last a lifetime? And what would be another thing? I mean, the Thanksgiving thing is thinking about it from a sales copy thing might be a little bit too specific. Um, I mean, we could put that in there if you want, but
The other long-term desire is to strengthen, to have an experience to share with friends. I mean,
ooh,
that that's a lot of reason we do vacations is an experience to share with family or friends. I guess I should.
okay. Have an amazing experience to share with family and friends.
Yep.
Friends and family. Put your friends first. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do what we all should do, which is hit save early and often. Now, okay, so now what are some immediate results? So we think about a long-term result is like the thing that's going to happen after or later down the road. A long-term result can be anywhere from 6 months out to 20 years. The immediate result is like in the next couple of weeks, in the next couple of days, like right now. And I guess in this case, it would be before or right during their vacation. So you've talked a lot about time.
Right.
Tell me what are the immediate results they want?
Well, the immediate result is they want to know that they can get that experience, and that's why they're typing that keyword in, and they're going to start doing their research. But you're speaking more in probably what they're going to experience of what they want. They want the confidence to know that they've got a good experience planned for them and their family.
Okay, so
They want
plan
that confidence.
an incredible experience to share with loved ones. Okay. What else?
Um, Everybody wants to know if is this the right thing we should be doing, and I'm going to have a little bit of fun with you real quick. I know if I could get that 50 cal in that helicopter, I could get you in there. But
It depends on, yeah,
but
yeah, sure.
but
Um,
but see the excitement you just had. It's something you want to be excited about. It's like
sure.
sure, you know.
Okay. So
So
enjoy an exciting adventure, an exciting adventure way outside the normal theme park vacation.
correct, correct. And then then they need the ability to get others excited about it. So they need confidence that it's an incredible experience. They want to be excited about it, or they need to feel the excitement, and then they have to get others. They have to get those they want to do this with excited too.
Okay.
Get your family excited.
Okay. Dan just said something interesting. The unknown, balancing safety and adventure.
Yep.
Pedro says take lots of great photos. Wojtek says educate your kids. Dan says shock of fresh canyon air. Hilda says feel that they had a well-lived life. Easy now. I ain't going here. It's my last trip, Hilda. Take it easy. Wojtek says complete your adventure bucket list. I like that. VJ says bonding a connection. Wojtek says something to brag about. I like that. That's cool.
Absolutely. Bragging
That's
rights is
cool too.
important. I mean that's where social media comes from.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, plan an incredible experience with bragging rights. Come on. Don't let spelling get in the way of your ability to write copy. I can tell you that. Okay. So who is the enemy? Who is the enemy in this situation?
This is a kind of funny, but in the early days of GrandCanyon.com, when I'd answer the phone, it would be the caller ID would come up with 3M, IBM. Everybody plans their vacation while they're at work, so work is the enemy. Your boss is the enemy. Just burnout is the enemy. But and that's kind of a question I've asked you before. Is you need to personalize it to a person, right?
You really want to, and it's one of those things where this is hard to do. Um, we can do your boss. We can, I mean, there's one you can always do, man. There's two that are always the fallback, and they're so easy to do that it's tempting to not think. But you can always say either the naysayers or the haters. Um, those are always good. Because there's always a hater in every group. There's always somebody who says, that's BS. Let's go to the Caribbean. I mean, it's BS. Let's go to, Jungle Jim's roadside animal zoo, with two armadillos and an ostrich that just would be better off as a turkey. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we can put in your boss if you want, whatever you want to do.
It can be the teenage child that's like, I don't want to spend 10 hours in the car with mom and dad.
Oh, moody. Let's put moody teenage kid.
Yep.
Just because I want to see what it says. I just want to see what it pops out. And again, there's no right or wrong. That's the thing, is that this is just you don't know. You just see what happens when it pops out. Okay, problems they need to solve. So my ideal customer needs to figure out how to what? What's the problem they need to solve related to this.
Well, okay. So they need to get everyone excited, and that's where video has been very powerful in showing them what the experience will be about. Mm-hmm. They need to book the experience. Obviously, they need to.
But think about them. Think about where they are. They don't necessarily know that they want to go to the Grand Canyon. So if somebody doesn't necessarily know they want to, what's a problem that would be solved by going to the Grand Canyon? I mean, you need to figure out how, like somebody said here in the Q&A, how to have an exciting time while still being safe. You know, how to, I mean, actually, how to simulate danger. I'm just saying, balancing safety and adventure. There you go. Figure out how to balance
Safe.
safety, safety and adventure in a vacation outside the norm.
Right.
Um, what's another thing that they want to do? You said something about they want to fit in something on their bucket list while still keeping everybody in the family happy.
Correct. And so often that's why oftentimes Grand Canyon will get added to a Sedona or to a Las Vegas or to a Disneyland or to a Phoenix trip.
Okay.
So it oftentimes will, get put together with that or combined with. And it is a
Okay.
bucket list item. Once in a lifetime is, we talk about that a lot as well. It's a once in a lifetime experience. Although I'll tell
Okay.
you, oftentimes your parents drag you there, you take your kids there, and then the grandparents, like to take kids there as well.
So fit a cool once in a lifetime bucket list item with your existing vacation plans. And what's another question?
Um, who's going?
Yeah.
Who they can get to
Well, I mean, the
go.
problem is, figure out how to get everyone in the family excited
Right, right. That's
about going to the Grand Canyon. Okay. And I just saw somebody ask, Tanya just asked, the hardest part has been coming up with the enemy when it's not an obvious person. Any tips? Yeah, haters or naysayers. There's always that. You can always do that one. Okay, so um, your avatar's pain points. So what's a pain point that really frustrates your avatar? My ideal customer is really frustrated by the fact that what? When it comes to just their life, their situation, planning vacations, and that pain point might be, planning the fact that it's hard to choose a vacation destination or a destination or activity that gets everybody excited.
it is.
That's why we do the gym boat. Because then it's like, oh, you didn't like where we were? Well, tomorrow this entire hotel will move to a new spot. So just hang on. Go
And
get
that's
a
what I love
drink.
about it.
Um, okay, what's another pain point? What's another big pain point that they deal with?
um, you know, let's see, getting the family excited. Booking it, it is frustrating. Unfortunately, Grand Canyon itself, you can't fly directly to it. That's why most people come via Vegas or Phoenix. So it's not easily accessible. It takes time to get there, more time than most people would like to spend.
Okay. Um, but we're not trying necessarily to come up with pain points. Well, okay. It takes time to get fact that uh it takes I don't want to say a lot of time, but it takes time to get to the Grand Canyon.
Right.
Um, all right. And what's another one?
Um, so we've talked about, let's see,
So we said
everybody.
it's hard to choose a vacation destination or activity that gets everybody excited. It takes time to actually get to the Grand Canyon.
And
And
then, this ties with time, but it's either getting everybody to get on board. Well, we talked about that. Then just the sheer availability when we get there of, okay, where are we going to stay? Where are we going to eat? Um, but that's going to get too broad too fast. Um,
do you want to do the limited availability for doing the really cool stuff?
yeah, that's what I would say. The fact that it could be sold out in the time that you
Ooh,
plan on being there.
okay. The really cool activities. could be sold out in the time you plan on being there. Don't they have like a limit on the number of flights that can go over the canyon every day?
They do, and on times.
Okay. Okay, so critical questions that they need answered. So a question my ideal customer really needs answered is, can we fit this? Can we fit the Grand Canyon in with all the other vacation plans we have?
Correct.
Okay, what's another question they have?
Well, the how
How
do I
can,
get there?
okay,
How do I get? Yeah.
how do I get to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
Dude,
Believe
it's
it or
on a freaking map. That ain't a question. They can find that. I'm trying to get a little bit lower than that.
no, but I mean,
Um,
how do they physically get there? Do they fly into Phoenix and Vegas and then take do they rent a car? Do they take their RV along I-40?
okay,
Um, so how do they get there? Yeah, how can we get to the Grand Canyon as quickly as possible?
okay. And what's another question that typically people have? How can we maximize our time while we're there and see as much as we can while we're there?
Correct. Yeah, how can we make the most of our time?
Okay, okay. Here's the thing I haven't been doing. I just noticed we haven't used Google at all. I've just been sucking this out of your head. I totally screwed the
Well,
I shouldn't say screwed the pooch, so I didn't say that, but I mean, I totally messed this up because we just started talking about doing it. Let's just keep going.
okay.
We'll do
Or
something.
or refine it. You can jump over there and do a couple
Um,
quick searches.
okay, so we're almost done because we're not going to get into your main solution thing. We'll get into it a little bit, but we're not going to go too nuts on it. But the main roadblocks or objections that prevents our avatar from moving. Yeah, I know. Melford said, I was wondering when Mr. Google would rear his ugly head. Sorry, I just, but anyway, sometimes it helps. I mean, get a friend to log in with you and ask you the questions and think through it together.
Yeah,
So
this has been very helpful.
my ideal customer is hung up on the idea that what are they just hung up with when it comes to vacationing or just the Grand Canyon in general?
Well, you know,
Ooh, Dan just asked a question. What's the proper attire? I don't know if there's any, but anyway, I thought that was a good question. But go
that
ahead. Sorry.
that is a good question. But it's going to be more driven by the weather and how
Okay.
things are going. But um, what's an objection? What do people get hung up on? It always comes back to time and money. But
Okay.
um,
So ideal customer that it just takes too long. It just takes
too long. Yeah.
too long to get to the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
And once you've stood on the edge of the canyon, you've basically seen it.
Right. I don't know if you've seen the famous, Chevy Chase scene in Vacation where he puts his arm around his wife and says, "Okay, we've seen it. Let's go. Get
Yeah,
back to
I
the
have. Yeah, when they're on their way to Wally World.
car." Yep.
Um,
That's more
and
of an avatar than you think.
no. um, I'd say another objection might be you don't have enough time to see what you need to see. Val just said something. It's so big, overwhelming. Which part of the Grand Canyon do you even go to if time is short? Thought that's a great thought. It's impossible to see everything in an afternoon.
Right. I mean, I'm going to give the quick pitch. It's 277 miles long, 18 miles wide, and a mile deep. Most people experience it from the south rim, which has become the expected experience, but it is impossible to see everything. in just an afternoon visit, or the average is a 2-day visit. In such, yeah.
And I'm not riding a mule. Uh,
uh, the quick tip on
um,
that is got to be over 18, speak English, can't be pregnant, and can't weigh over 200 pounds. So yeah, and most people can't walk straight. They walk like a bow-legged cowboy after they're done.
there you go. All right, now bottom line results. This is the thing that, yeah, no flip flops on the rim, and no backward selfies either. Do they lose anybody taking selfies over the rim every once in a while out there?
More than you want to know. There
Wow,
is typically 6 to 10 people that die from falling off of the rim every year.
from just being dopey.
Yep, and it's increased with social media because they're trying to get that selfie.
Oh my God. I am so scared of heights. I would literally be hanging on to the car, like looking, and it'd be way over there. Yeah, I've seen it. I would, no. And I'm the one that said I would want to rappel over the side. I would, but having a rope, I'm great when I have a rope. It's when I have nothing securing me that I'm like, nah, I ain't going anywhere near it.
I'm the
Okay,
same way. When I get near the edge, if there's not a rope on, I'm afraid.
so bottom line results are basically this is people, okay, Jim, what's the difference between a bottom line result and an immediate result and all the other stuff? And I would tell you, we've been going on this for what, 30 minutes? And so we would, a bottom line result, imagine if you're sitting with somebody and they're explaining for like 2 hours what's going on. You finally get to the end of this big long interview and you're just like, bottom line, what do you want out of this? And you know how people, they're like, they let out that big breath and they're like, this is what I want. This is what I like at the end of an argument with your spouse that you know you're going to lose. And you should have just done this at the beginning. It's like, it's like just bottom line, what are we doing? And I've met your wife and I can tell you, like my wife, you would never win an argument. It's just like, you better just surrender up front. I love my wife. She's a lot smarter than I am. So in a perfect world, my ideal customer just wants to be able to what? And this is where it's just like, boom, have an amazing experience.
And they just want to know they've been there, and obviously, going and standing on the rim, but they want to know they've had an amazing experience, and they want to have felt like they have experienced Grand Canyon. I don't know if I can fully put that into words, but when I'm going to talk about the helicopter experience specifically, but when you land and get off the helicopter, there is that sense of, I can't believe I did that. And yet
Okay.
it's in your memory now forever. So it's an expression of beyond belief. Many people, when they do arrive at the rim and walk up to it, it is bigger and it is much larger than they expected, and it's overwhelming.
Okay.
And so hopefully, let's see. Yeah. So all of those, you want to feel like you've had an amazing experience, and you just like, we've done it and we've captured it and we can share it.
Okay. So now what we're going to do, that will stick with you forever and you can share it with others.
Right.
Okay. So I'm sorry if everybody's mad because I'm like, I did not go to Google once. Sorry. But this is, you know what? This is a great example of interviewing somebody
Yeah.
and helping them to elicit the information. And next time we'll do the Google. We'll do Google next time and we'll push the other thing out because this is important. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to build in a little bit of stuff about your offer. So you would invite them, what's the name, Tyler, name of the product service offer you want your customer offer your customer here? Is it GrandCanyon.com or is it Grand Canyon Tours or what is the actual thing?
Well, the specific one that I would focus in on is the Imperial Helicopter Tour.
Okay. Of the Grand Canyon?
Of the Grand Canyon, yeah.
Okay. And that's GrandCanyon.com.
Yep, GrandCanyon.com.
And it's a website.
Yep, it's a website.
What's the headline or big promise?
See the see see. It's not on there
Well, that
yet.
sucks. The
Yeah.
Grand Canyon Tours, Hotels, and Lodging at Grand Canyon National Park. What the crap? This should say something like, get ready for your adventure of a lifetime. Holy crap, at the Grand Canyon. Carlin, what are you doing? Okay, I was looking for something.
Go to Grand Canyon Tours up there, or South Rim Tours. That helicopter and that boat, that raft.
What?
Oh,
Where is it?
you were scrolling down.
South Rim Tours?
Yep, that one right there. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, and then the Imperial
A
is right
great
under the
way to
raft.
enhance and add. Dude, you got a typo.
Oh,
And add. You're gonna just hit me with advertising while I'm in the canyon? Wait, what?
that's got to be fixed.
Um,
See the Imperial with EcoStar there? Oh, it was that one right there, upper left. There you go. Click
okay.
on that.
Okay. Please, Jesus, let there be a headline here.
There's
There's no
not.
headline, Carlin. What the hell? Oh my gosh.
There's a video.
That doesn't do me any good. You don't have a hook. That's a story. Holy crap.
True.
How to
Well, let's put one on.
experience the grandeur of the Grand Canyon. I mean, I'm just making this up. It's better than anything you got, 'cause you ain't got nothing on there, Carlin.
That's
How to
right.
experience the grandeur of the Grand Canyon
50 minutes or less.
in 50 minutes or less. Okay, so what's the first benefit? What's the number one big benefit? So my offer helps customers what? See the Grand Canyon in all its glory.
Yep.
From how high? From a mile in the air?
Actually, it's just 1,000 feet above the Grand Canyon.
Okay, just 1,000 feet. We'll just in all its glory from the air. Okay,
Yep.
what's another cool benefit? My offer also helps
the,
customers what?
the adventure of flying in a helicopter. But let's keep it specific to Grand Canyon, but just the adventure of flying over the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Okay, and one more. What's another big benefit?
Seeing.
Maximize.
Yep, you're going with time. Seeing the most in the
Okay,
least amount of time, maximizing.
maximize your adventure. I used adventure. Maximize your time
While at the Grand Canyon.
while at the canyon.
Yep.
Okay. So, what's the number one result your avatar gets from the offer? So, the number one outrageously amazing result you get from this is you can now.
Well, there's just the experience of flying in a helicopter. It's like flying on a magic carpet. And then there's
I'm laughing because Terry says how to not die on your Grand Canyon vacation. Wow.
And I can show you how to do that too, or I can show you how to get close to that if you want to. But
experience the. Oh my God! Experience the canyon
like never before.
Like a soaring eagle.
Yep.
It's okay. It's not great. And you can have it all without having to ride a donkey down from the
or
right?
hike to the bottom, and
Or hike to the bottom on dangerous trails.
yep.
Okay, so we're not going to worry about all that good stuff. Let me save this, and then we're gonna tell the story of the Avatar, and then we're gonna go do a couple of headlines because I'm just Carlin. Come on now, dude. Come on,
I
come
know.
on. I know you well enough, and we're buddies that you went on the gym boat. We did copywriting, for crying out loud. I go to your site and there's no headline. Come on.
Call me out.
Um,
Call me out.
okay, so we're gonna do the full bulleted avatar profile, and I'll send this to you. So my avatar's name is Julie. Julie's a family vacation I was thinking family vacation planner, but but Julie is a family vacationer who dreams of becoming an explorer or adventure seeker. Currently, Julie's focus is on Grand Canyon tours, on taking a we'll go with this. It needs some massaging, but we'll go through it. Julie's focus is on Grand Canyon tours and Grand Canyon helicopter tours. Ultimately, Julie really wants to create family memories that last a lifetime and have an amazing experience to share with friends and family for years to come. I think that's a
Exactly.
better way of doing that. And that's a cool thing of being able to click on those now because you can whack the button, or you can click and it'll shoot you back up the page. But Julie really wants to create family memories that last a lifetime and have an amazing experience to share with friends and family for years to come. Right this minute, Julie would be ecstatic if she could plan an incredible experience with bragging rights to share with loved ones, enjoy an exciting adventure. Oh my God, I gotta fix it. I can't not do it. This is like my whole OCD on display with this stuff. But the cool thing is once you get this dialed in, it's all over but the crying. So I would click build again, plan an incredible experience, enjoy an exciting adventure way outside the normal theme park vacation, get your family and friends excited to share the adventure with you. Unfortunately, Julie still needs to figure out how to balance safety and adventure in a vacation outside the norm, fit a cool once in a lifetime bucket list item in with your existing vacation plans, get everyone in the family excited about going to the Grand Canyon. That's good stuff.
That's
Julie is
very
also really frustrated by the fact that it's hard to choose a vacation destination or activity that gets everybody excited. It takes time to actually get to the Grand Canyon, and the really cool activities could be sold out in the time you plan on being there.
or when you plan on being there. Yeah. When you plan on being there. There.
Okay. When you plan on being there. All right. So click build. Plus, she still needs to get to answer these questions before she can move forward. Can we fit the Grand Canyon in with all the other vacation plans we have? How can we get to the Grand Canyon as quickly and easily as possible? How can we maximize our time and make the most of our visit to see as much as possible? Hell yeah, that's good. Julie's also still hung up on the idea that it just takes too long to get to the Grand Canyon. Once you've stood on the edge of the canyon, you've basically seen it. It's impossible to see everything in an afternoon visit, and I'm not riding a mule. Dude, that's not bad. That's good, right?
Yep.
In fact, I mean, you might think, nah, Jim, it actually kind of sucks. In fact, she feels like her moody teenage kids actually don't want her to succeed with her Grand Canyon tour, or a Grand Canyon helicopter tour. When all is said and done, Julie just wants to have an amazing experience, know you've been to the Grand Canyon and feel like you've actually experienced it, and have an experience that will stick with you forever and you can share it with others. To help Julie, I would invite her to check out my website at grandcanyon.com, which has no headlines. At my website, Imperial Helicopter Tour of the Grand Canyon at grandcanyon.com, so she can experience the canyon like a soaring eagle. Oh my God, Carlin, without having to ride a donkey or hike to the bottom on dangerous trails. Dude, that's good. If Julie wants to see the Grand Canyon in all its glory from the air, experience the adventure of flying over the edge of the Grand Canyon, and maximize your time while at the Grand Canyon in as little as, what's the time frame for this? Like an afternoon, like 50 minutes?
It's 50 minutes.
Even better. Oh, this is good. This is good. In as little as 50 minutes, then Imperial Helicopter Tour of the Grand Canyon is definitely for her. My offer would include, drinks, parachutes, all that stuff. Bottom line, I promised to show her how to experience the grandeur of the Grand Canyon in 50 minutes or less. Boom. Okay, so now I'll ask you guys, you folks, in the Q&A. Yes, we didn't go to Google. I'm sorry. But you saw live creating an avatar from scratch. What do you think of this? So now we're going to go use this. Okay, let's go write some headlines real quick. We're going to go use and anywhere, just as a reminder, anywhere you see this little people icon thing, you can go there and load the avatar to have it use this. Justin said, could you at least tell us what you would use Google for? Yeah, I would I will at the end. It's real quick. I mean, I can do it in 2 minutes. I can like Russell. I can tell you in 2 minutes, or I can tell you in 2 hours, or 2 days, or 2 weeks. Okay, so let's click on the killer headline script. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to load Carlin's avatar. And watch this. It loads all this stuff in. So there's only like one thing. Okay. So what's a roadblock they see as holding them back from their goal? Completes the statement, even if. I'm just going to play real quick. Even if your last family vacation was a disaster. So you'll see quickly and in 50 minutes. So we'll click build and let's see what let's come up with some hot and cold.
Vacation Imperial tour again.
Oh, discover how savvy family, this is a little long, but discover how family vacationers use Imperial helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon to see the canyon in all its glory from the air without having to ride a donkey or hike to the bottom on dangerous trails. I like that. And they're not all going to be a winner. And I'm gonna see how Imperial helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon helps you discover the canyon in all its glory in just 50 minutes. Imperial helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon, how to see the Grand Canyon in all its glory from the air. That's not bad. And I would just do Imperial helicopter tours, how to see the Grand Canyon in all its glory from the air in under 50 minutes.
Yep.
That don't suck. And what I'm doing is I'm just clicking that. So there's tons of them. How to see the Grand Canyon in all its glory from the air without having to ride a donkey or hike to the bottom on dangerous trails. Dude,
that one's good.
That one's good, right?
Good.
So you can avoid having to ride. How to see the Grand Canyon in all its glory from the air in as little as 50 minutes.
I don't know if it's in there, but I like that one that came up in the avatar itself of soaring like an eagle.
Dude, I wrote that.
Exactly.
But let's see. Let me click on this a little bit. Ooh, see how easily you can see the Grand Canyon in all its glory from the air. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
All right. Ooh, give me 50 minutes and I'll give you the Grand Canyon in all its glory from the air.
I like that one.
That don't suck. Poor donkey. Everybody's like, danger scares people. That's right. So I mean, there's a ton of stuff in here. The truth about how to see the Grand Canyon in all its glory from the air and avoid riding it. Okay, so anyway, and then one other cool thing that this will do, I didn't see a whole lot of bullets on your website either, Carlin. Let's write some bullets real quick using your avatar. Yet again, this one is, here's a leftover from the other day, Pickle Lover. That was from Funnel Fridays. All right, so it fills in all the stuff. It's all your stuff. And now it writes all your bullets. The real secret to success with Grand Canyon tours, every family vacationer needs everything you need for Grand Canyon helicopter tours in one place, how to plan an incredible experience with bragging rights to share with loved ones, and so much more. Exactly what you need to enjoy an exciting adventure way outside the normal theme park vacation every time. The absolute best way to get your family and friends excited to share the adventure with you. Makes it step by step simple for you to create family memories that last a lifetime. Dude,
I like that one.
there's like a couple dozen bullets here for you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank
Justin
you. I
says
like the
Jim is
theme park
just ripping Carlin up. You know this is in the spirit of love, right? We've known each other forever.
one. Exactly. I need to be dressed down.
That's right. Um, so I mean that's what you do. So let me show you just real quick. If you didn't know all this stuff, what gets me excited is that you're doing well with it being like it is. Now we're going to do some testing of some headlines and stuff and see if we can make it even better.
All right.
So we'll go to google.com. Now let's say that you're like, okay, what hopefully you know what people's focus is, but if you didn't, I would come if I wanted to know the focus, I would come over here, go away, Google. What is the most important thing vacationers should consider when planning a Grand Canyon vacation? Boom. Planning a trip to the Grand Canyon, everything you need to. So here you go. Here's a bunch of stuff. What? I don't want that. Look at this. South Rim versus North Rim versus Grand Canyon West.
Yep.
So that would be something, I would just go and I would literally type that stuff in. All right. Um, Immediate results. What? And I would even, result wants from a Grand Canyon vacation. I spelled it wrong. Okay. Frequently asked questions about Grand Canyon National Park. How's the Grand Canyon? Again, plan your visit. Planner. 100 things you'll want to know about the Grand Canyon. So, you just start looking for what now, but you might say, well, maybe I didn't know they're going to the Grand Canyon, or they don't know they're going to the Grand Canyon. Okay. I would put in family adventure travel. Okay. And then I might start doing 59 bucket list family trip adventures. I wonder if the Grand Canyon's on there. I gotta look.
I'll bet you it is. Well, if it's not a
It's
ad
oh
site.
my screw you, clickbait.
Yeah, it's clickbait.
Okay, so family adventure FAQ. Okay, that's another. So now there's all kinds of FAQs and stuff that you can look at to get the questions and whatnot. Um, all right, family adventure travel problems. 100 common family travel mistakes and how to avoid them. That would probably be a good one. Don't try to do everything in one day. Get accommodations with separate sleeping. Get accommodations, jet lag real. Oh man. Okay, I thought it was a clickbaity one. Um, so again, these are.
Hey, that one's
Oh,
pretty good.
look at. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Hey, look at that ad.
Now it's not going to show up. I bet. Dang it. Oh, there it is. Look, your copy is waiting for you. I'm not going to click it though because it'll cost me money. Um, but that's literally what you do. Family adventure travel pains. Look at that. It's suggesting pains to avoid. 33 best tips for amazing family travel with kids. What are the pains of family travel? Look there on Quora. Okay, so you literally are just going to go and do research, and you're going to look for your keyword topic plus problems, pains, FAQ, roadblocks, objections. The biggest objections Family adventure travel, biggest objections. So, and stuff will start appearing, and you'll find these lists and list articles and the blog posts and other stuff where you're going to see the trends. You're going to see the stuff that people, the answers, and you're going to see the stuff, and you're going to be able to answer. And here's the thing, though, I want to really, really point out. Don't go after a niche you know nothing about. Don't go after a niche you don't know somebody who's in the niche. You've never been in the niche. Just don't do it. This is like back in 2000. It was like, oh, I heard dog training is a great niche. I don't own a dog. I hate dogs. I don't even like cats. I'm allergic to cats, but I heard it's a great niche to go into. So I'm just gonna, do it. Don't do that. I mean, that's not how you become an expert. That's not how you add value. Now, but if you decide to do that and you need to create an avatar, then go do the research inside of Google. It's the only difference between what we did with Carlin and what I would have done on Google if, I guess if I'd have just been here by myself, is I would have had somebody suggest something and then I would have gone and done the research and figured it out and it would have been okay. But what you can do also with this is use it to refine and define and really dial in stuff. So, Carlin's locked in on who he thinks his avatar is and what he thinks is important. But if you then go to Google and start looking for these things, you might see a different perspective where you're like, hey, a little bit different language, a little different way of seeing something. You might see an article that somebody wrote that said, soar like an eagle across the rim of the canyon. Holy crap, that could make right there. Oh my God, that's the headline that's a part of a headline or a headline you could test on one of those pages, soar like an eagle over the rim of the canyon.
I've already put it on there. It's already on there.
Come on. Where?
Well,
you actually put it on the site?
Well, I just stole it. I just took off and give me 50 minutes and I'll give you the Grand Canyon in all its glory because I like that one better.
Where'd you do it? On the Southwind Tours one?
Yeah, on the Imperial helicopter. I'm like, I'm going to do this right now.
Give me 50 minutes and I'll give you the Grand Canyon in all its glory. Okay, so I would put that in quotes. I would put it in quotes and I would find a way maybe and then the Imperial Echo Star tour.
I'm gonna actually take the Echo Star out. That's just
I would put experience the Imperial with Echo Star tour. I would try that. Anyway, we're getting into minutia.
It's done.
Oh, and I'm not. Oh, well, let's see.
Refresh.
Boom. All right, except you misspelled experience. So the thing I want to point out to everybody is that what Carlin's doing here, Carlin is an action taker.
Now refresh.
And so there you go. So Donna said, I was so looking forward to saving the pickle avatar script from Funnel Fridays. We're working on adding that to a, well, here, if you guys want the pickle avatar from Funnel Fridays, I can give that to you. So we're going to make sure we save Carlin's thing here. And the cool thing is that I can share this with Carlin. You guys don't need that, but the neat thing is that like the pickle lover avatar, I can click shared on that and I copy the link. And now I'm going to send this to Donna and to everyone. And all you have to do is just click that link and then you can load that into your Funnel Scripts account and you can use that avatar now in all its pickle glory. So there you go. You have access to that pickle now. So I made your dream come true. But the neat thing is that you can trade it around. You can work on it with somebody else and do some really cool stuff. So, um, Carlin, just stand by, and we're going to wrap this up real quick with conclusion and final thoughts. The biggest thing is start with yourself. Were you or are you in your target audience?
Yes, I
If you
was.
are, right. I mean, that's the thing. You told me a long time ago that you tell everybody real quick how you came to be in your target audience.
I came to be in my target audience because I got to take a helicopter ride with the Airwolf stunt pilot. And when he flew up towards this huge cliff, went up, pitched the tail, and came back down, I loved helicopters from that moment on. I like the adventure. I do.
There you go. Um, Once, if you're not, or even if you are, then move on to people close to you that you can interview, because you get another perspective. It gives you a well-rounded perspective of your potential avatar. And then move on to customers and subscribers that you can get information from. So we've talked in other trainings about asking people on social media. And then, of course, you can move on to Google. So I have to run, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this gave you a new perspective on using the avatar. Carlin, thank you very, very much for being here, for voluntolding, and I hope you got some cool value out of this as well.
I did. Thank you, Jim. This has been gold. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All
And I
right. Well, I
appreciate the
appreciate
kick in
you
the
all.
butt too.
What's that?
I appreciate the kick in the butt too. I need it.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you one other quick question. Do you have tracking on all those pages so that you can see what kind of conversion and stuff you're getting from them?
I do. I do.
Okay, so we would be able to know if there was a difference made by adding headlines, perhaps?
Yep. And I will report
Well,
back.
praise the Lord. Let's do that. As soon as we get done, I'll email you the link to the avatar so you can load it into your Funnel Scripts account.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, cool. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.